The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi.
Must have been a ship.
The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy.
Got a big voice. Nice.
With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty. That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early. The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with a crew and captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling?
Ship's bell is a warning.
Oh, yeah.
The wind and the wires made a tattletale sound, and the wave broke over the railing.
Ooh, cool.
And every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November come stealing.
What a line.
Huh.
The dawn came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of a hurricane west wind.
This is brilliant. The beat dropped when the intensity was stepping up in the story. Right? So right now you feel like you're in an action movie. They're grinding right now. They're dealing with the winds.
When supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, fellas, it's too rough to feed you.
There's that synthesizer.
At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know ya. The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. And later that night when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
One of the most digestible history lessons ever, because I love the sound, by the way. Love that the song sounds both, you know, there's folk in it, but the scales make me think of like a Native American sound. And it kind of makes sense with some of the places they're bringing up. It's sad. The sound engineering is fantastic. His voice is pretty cool. So I'm all in on this story right now.
Okay. Obviously, the song is called The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. So I'm getting a very detailed, well-tempoed story about how it happened. And I really like it. I like having to figure it out. I feel like it's like, it really is like reading a book. It's being told a story. And so I really enjoy that. And I love that it's to music. The drum in this is really setting my soul on fire. Boom. Like, because it almost, to me, indicates the waves crashing and the storm.
This dude is a poet, and he puts it to music. I mean, the lyricism and the imagery that he's using is insane. It makes you feel like you are literally there. And the way he uses certain descriptions, I mean, it is just phenomenal. You're just entrenched in the stories.
Just imagine, though, that you're stuck in these high, heavy, crazy winds, and you know this could possibly be the end. The fear, that fright coming over your body. I don't know if these men were afraid. They're probably aware of what could happen, but wow. On this big, massive ship.
I mean, he's literally going to so many details. The ship is going down, but this is leading up to the ship going down. He's making you beat into the music. Like, you definitely could picture the lyrics, like you're in the situation with them. How scary would that be, you guys? Like, the ship is sinking, right? They're in the passes of bad weather. And the ship is no longer, it cannot hold it. Oh my gosh. but the details.
Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours? The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water. And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters.
This song is put so beautifully out there, but at the same time it's so painful.
Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. And the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered. In a musty old hall in Detroit they prayed in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. The church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Had to perish.
But a legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
So much power between words.
This is too sad for me, guys.
Honestly,
This is
I
too
am
sad.
sad,
This is way
and
too
in the
sad
same
for
time,
me.
What's interesting about that song, it is
Grateful
literally
that
the
songs
same
like
chord
this
progression
exist.
for the
I'm guessing this is a
entire
real story. It's
song.
not what the story sounds.
I looked in the faces of the wives and sons and daughters. It was at that moment my heart split into. That was unbelievable. And I promise you, I'm going to get in bed tonight and I'm going to give myself a history lesson because what? These are the type of things I wish we were taught in school. Like all the things that I will never remember, my brain space could have been filled with this very intriguing historical event. I gotta go Google this and 29 men. All right, I'm sad. I'm weeping on the inside. I gotta go.
It's amazing how that melody just keeps on repeating. He sang the same melody the whole time, but shifted the words around within it, really drew our attention to the story. And the combination of space within the song and simplicity, I think, actually allows people to process more grief and more emotion. It's really shocking, actually. I'm very, very surprised at the choice to just keep that same melody the whole time. Whoa.
No, I wasn't ready for that. Mr. Gordon Lightfoot did it with the lyrics though. It gave poetic. Like it made me hone in and listen to every single word he was saying. because every single line had meaning. Every single line had power. This was a tribute song. And I like I said, I got to look up this story because I need to know like when this happened. Like, wow. Wow. I'm at a loss for words.
6 minutes and 30 seconds. Nothing changes. All that changes is the the dynamics, right? The how loud it is, and the way that they're really changing that is by the layers playing with the song. When they talk about the sailors being dead, right? The layers are removed, right? Kind of symbolizing that. When they're in the middle of that storm and all of these things are going on, that's when all the layers are there. But it's still just the same thing and the same beat. Nothing changes. There's no bridge, no chorus. It's just the story. But again, the layers in it and the dynamics are moving the story along for you. And I was paying attention the entire time.
From start to finish, he was so descriptive and detailed. He literally time locked history in a capsule in a song. And it's not just a song. It's actually it's a beautiful song. And when you think about I think the most important part of the song, in a sense, is when he said all that was left were the faces and the names of the mothers, sons, and daughters, right? Which is a tribute to them, and how much distress they probably went through with their loved ones passing away on that ship.
When they said about the wives and daughters, and then that really hit me when when he said the bell, they did the bell 29 times for all the ones that lost their lives. I felt that, and I could just hear the bell go off in my ear. Oh,